Hi, I'm Deacon, co-founder and chief designer at Wayfair Points. This was originally supposed to be a live Q&A session, but unfortunately, my schedule didn't allow it. So I've been sent over a couple of questions to answer in this video. So let's get started. When did I graduate from South Island School? I graduated in 2002. What made you decide to be in the design industry? Well, I always had an interest in art and design, and I fluctuated quite regularly between fine art, graphics, and CDT. But it wasn't until I saw a docu-series called Better by Design, which followed the ins and outs of a design consultancy called Seymour Powell, and that really gave me an insight into what it was like to be a design consultant. Solving design problems and making products better through smart design. It was also the problem-solving aspect of it that was something that was really appealing to me, and something that I still continue to practice to this day. What were your decisions or destinations after South Island School? Well, after South Island, I continued my education in the UK, where I studied product design. I graduated in 2005. Um, my design career has taken a lot of ups and downs over the years and hasn't really followed the traditional pathway. The early parts of my career were spent as a junior designer. I worked for um, a design consultancy in Taipei just after graduating, before moving back to Hong Kong and getting a job here. Uh, it wasn't until 2007 where I got my first sort of long-term role for a company called Heiko. We and it was at that point where my skill set sort of really expanded from the sort of art-based and aesthetic-based design, where I became more involved in sort of the full spectrum of the product development process. So everything from ideation, from planning, design for manufacture, prototyping, testing, uh, packaging designs for pallet and container optimization, artwork calibration for printing, and overall quality control of the final manufactured product. Um, it was at this point where my skill set and my horizons really started to expand, and getting in and understanding and getting hands on with all these processes both had pros and cons. Um, on the pro side, I became a better communicator and problem solver. On the con side, my hands-on design ability slowly started to decrease just because I had more responsibilities. Um, I've had to hire a team and manage a team, so it was more design management versus design creation. Um, so after that, I finished with Heiko at the tail end of 2015. I started working for a couple of startups before I joined a former colleague at Heiko to where I am now with Wayfair Points. Can you share some of your experiences in looking for a job in the design industry? Well, my experiences for looking for a job in Hong Kong haven't been entirely positive. Traditional methods, sort of with job ads and LinkedIn, haven't yielded positive results for me personally. Um, I would strongly suggest calling the recruiters up or the companies up directly to find out what they're really looking for. Um, a lot of job posts in Hong Kong are very much copy paste, and it's hard for you to tell what a company is really looking for. So, any the biggest piece of advice I would give is just to call the recruiters directly, because you never know if your skill set um, really matches with what they're looking for. What are some tips you can offer for our existing students and alumni who are here thinking about working in the design industry? Um, well, I can only speak from my personal experience and my unconventional path. I guess the biggest three tips I can provide would be: develop your ability to clearly articulate your ideas, both verbally and visually. Um, so, from sketching to mock-ups to even quick CAD models, just something that you can present your ideas in a clear and concise manner. because the greatest idea in the world in your head might not really resonate to the next person. Second one, for me, prototyping is invaluable. So again, that goes back to articulating your ideas. So everything from sketching on paper, uh, cardboard mock-ups, paper mock-ups, 3D printing, anything you can use to test and validate your idea. And the biggest one for me is seek input and feedback from other people, and from a wide variety of people, not just designers, not just engineers. Talk to your friends who are not in the design industry. Talk to your mom, your dad. Um, Again, it's about validating your ideas, and especially if you're designing things for a wider audience. So, what is it working like? What is it like working in your existing role, and what are you involved in doing? Well, my role today is very much different from what my the rest of my career has looked like so far. Um, I have more focus on graphics and software development in the user interface and user interaction space. Having come from an industrial design background, it's been an interesting transition, but an enjoyable one. So day to day, I look after the overall visual design language of the company. I develop graphics and other artworks. I work with our software engineers as well to deliver experiences that are fun and enjoyable. So finally, what would you have done differently if you had to approach the design field again? Um, this is a difficult question. It would be interesting to see where I would be if I stuck to a single discipline. If I just stuck to product design or industrial design, it would be interesting to see where my skill set would have developed, where um, and where that would have taken me. But I don't think I've changed my journey so far. It's been an enjoyable one. It's been an interesting one. Certainly one full of ups and downs, but at the moment I wouldn't change anything. Um, so those are all the questions. That's it for me. Hopefully it was informative. Um, thank you very much for your time. Bye.